Okay, so think about the films that you love most. Now, chances are that locations played a huge role in making those films unforgettable. But behind every great location is a production team that first had to find the location, manage it, and also keep it organized. And in the world of filmmaking, locations can be one of the hardest studio assets to manage. Now, a single location can have hundreds of photos, each needing to be properly documented. Your cinematography and design teams need access to floor plans. Production needs to know where the nearest parking, medical centers, and restaurants are. And your entire cast and crew need to see at a glance where every location sits on a map. And I'm just scratching the surface here. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can manage your locations within Stencil to help you deal with all of this complexity. Okay, so once you're logged into Stencil, there are a couple of important things to note here. So first, on your main projects page, you'll see this link to locations in the left sidebar. Now, something really important to understand here is that these locations are global locations, and this means that they are not currently assigned to any specific project within your portfolio of projects after they are first added. However, once the location is added, it can be linked to any project, even multiple projects within your portfolio of projects if you want. Now, it's not uncommon if you run a film production company to reuse locations across multiple projects. Okay, so back on our main dashboard page here, what you'll see in the sidebar here are things like contacts, reference media, and so on. Again, these are all mapped to your studio and can be thought of as studio or global assets. Now, if we were looking at locations specifically, it's not uncommon for film production companies to have a growing catalog of locations. Now, when you find more locations within your filming area, you simply add them here. And now let me pop over into a specific project to show you how we can link these locations, which you see here, to a specific project. This project could be a film project, a documentary project, a commercial, music video, and so on. So back on our main projects page here, let's just click on this project right here. Now, if we scroll down, we'll see this option for locations map here. Now, as you can see, this project already has a couple of locations added, but if this was a brand new project, it wouldn't have any locations added here yet. So to add locations, all you need to do is click on this button here for add locations. And now you'll see a pop-up that contains all of the locations from our global locations database. So to add more locations, all we need to do is click on this little icon here, and the location from our global locations database will now be mapped to this specific project, and it will show up down here. Now, once added, the map will now show this marker on the map, which represents this location's address, and also any marker or location card over here can be clicked on to bring up this window, which will allow you to update the location details. Now, one thing to keep in mind here, that if you decide to unlink a location from a project by clicking on this trash icon here, this will only unlink it from the project. It won't delete it from your global locations database. So this location will still be able to be reused within any other project within your portfolio. Okay, so let's learn how to add a new location to our main location database. So let's head back over to our main project page by clicking on this button here. And then from here, we'll click on locations. Now, let's click on this option to add a location. Now here you'll see that a pop-up opens asking us for some basic details about the location. So let's just fill out these details here now. Everything here is pretty straightforward. Simply add the name here, a valid address here, mark if the location is free or paid, and if it's a paid location, add the minimum and maximum price here. Now these min and max price values are the price values that actually show up on the location card over here and give you kind of a bird's eye view of each location's costs within your catalog. Okay, so back in the card, you can see here that we can also add if this location is an exterior or interior location, what the location type is. So for example, is it a home, a hotel, a park, and so on? Now, filling out these details is actually very valuable because it allows you to better search for this location later on. Now, this is particularly important once your locations database grows in size. Okay, so once we're ready here, what we'll do is we'll click on Add New Location. Now, once the location is added, we can click on this View Edit button to bring up the location's full location profile. Now, you'll see this location has all of these extra tabs here for things like photos, floor plans, contacts, and so on. So let's begin by looking at photos because this is actually a really powerful feature within Stencil. Now, in this example, there are already some photos added here, but if you're working with a new location, obviously this section would be blank. Now, you'll need to click on this button here to upload new location photos. So let's imagine that we were scouting a new location and we took, for example, 100 different images of this location. Now, naming, describing, and tagging 100 locations would take a lot of time. So what we've done in Stencil is, first, we allow you to bulk upload images, and second, once the images are uploaded, our system will use AI to help you properly describe your image. Now this can take a few minutes depending on how many images you've uploaded, but as you can see here, my newly uploaded images are currently saying title updating. So we'll just give these images a moment to process and then we'll check in again. Okay, so as you can see, now the AI has finished naming and describing these images, which we've just uploaded. So if we click on the image here, we'll see this location type here, the title and description. Not only that, but the AI was also able to pick out this location's color palette. And this is valuable because in the future, if we have 1,000 locations added to our database and we're trying to remember the locations in our catalog, for example, that have a yellow kitchen or a red bedroom or an outdoor location with lots of browns, we can always use this search field here to search for any of those dimensions. So for example, if I change this color value here to white and then I went back to my locations catalog and searched for white, my locations tagged with the color white would then show up right here. Because within Stencil, you can search for locations by name, any word within the location's description, the location type, or even location colors. Also, I should mention that all of this is editable, so the AI can be a huge time saver in terms of adding all of this metadata to each image. However, it's not always perfect, so if you ever wanted to just manually type out your location's names or descriptions or colors, you can always do so by simply clicking on the location and then simply modifying the field that you want to modify right here. Another thing here is that you can do more than just add photos. Now here, for example, you can see that we have a tab for floor plans, contacts. Now these are the people associated with this location. So for example, either the owner or the location manager. We also have a section here for video. Now this section allows you to upload a video walkthrough or tour of your location. Next, we also have parking, which shows the closest primary parking location as well as the overflow and large vehicle parking locations. Next, we have services. Now, this is where you can add the locations of important surrounding locations. So, for example, the nearest hospital, clinic, pharmacy, or restaurant. And then we have docs. This is where you can upload any important documents related to this location. And then lastly, we have map. And this simply shows the map where the location is located. Now, all of these things come together to give you and your entire team a deep and comprehensive understanding of each location in your locations database. So hopefully that gives you a good top-level overview of how to use Stencil's location scouting and location management software. Now, keep in mind that this location tool is only one of countless tools built into Stencil for filmmakers and visual storytellers. Stencil also comes with various built-in tools, including tools for storytelling, story planning, story improvement, shot lists, storyboards, plot visualization tools, casting tools, and much, much more. So if you create videos or films and you're interested in taking Stencil for a test drive, you can find a link to Stencil in the description below this video. So that's all I have for you. Thanks for stopping by today.